Hi guys, it's Dale with the insurance. Today we're going to talk about an article that's it's actually fun, especially for those who like driving. The title of the article is Top 10 Defensive Driving Techniques, right? So if you asked every driver out there, they probably would say they're a safe driver, right? And hopefully they are. But that's honestly only half of the battle, right? Only when you couple that safe driving with kind of defensive driving techniques do you really decrease the probability of you getting into an accident, right? And although these two ideas or types of driving or strategies complement each other, they're distinctly different, right? So safe driving is kind of like not driving while sleepy, right? Or not texting while driving, which is very important, very thoughtful, and things you should do. Defensive driving, slightly different, a bit more proactive, right? So it's things and strategies such as maintaining a 3-second difference between you and the car in front of you, right, as you follow them. So it's things like that you implement, techniques that you implement while driving that help prevent you from getting to an accident, or if you get into a hairy situation, you have backup plans, right? So this article goes through 10 techniques that hopefully you find helpful. Hopefully you already know them, but if you do, then practice is always good, right? So the first one is, it's called Murphy's Law, right? Like drive as if anything that can go wrong will go wrong, right? And this is just essentially telling you to have a high level of suspicion of your surroundings, other drivers, just so on the back of your mind, you already are thinking about some of the things that could happen and how you would react, right? The second one is kind of funny, but really true and honest, and that's communicate with other drivers. Obviously not in the sense of yelling or actually talking, but using your vehicle and your driving to allow other drivers to know what's going on, right? So using your blinkers, keeping a good distance between you and other vehicles, and then another one that I really like, when there's low visibility, especially on the highway, if it's raining or snowing, using kind of your hazards to let people know from a spatial environment where you are and how close you are to them. 3 is that this is a nuisance, but recognizing your blind spots, right? Could be different in every car. So before you even get into the road, onto the road, understand where that blind spot is, right? And check in on it every so often. Number 4 kind of dovetails to number 1, and this is kind of just being completely locked in, right? Locked in while driving. So no other distractions, and you're locked in so much to the point that you are aware of what's going on, kind of 2-3 cars in front of you, 2-3 cars behind you, just so you have an idea of your surroundings and what may transpire in the near term, right? In the near future. 5, check mirrors often, right? And nowadays with so many different cameras around your vehicle, it's almost easier to get kind of that 360 panoramic view of what's going on around the vehicle. So you've got mirrors. Some cars, some newer cars now have cameras on their dashboard where you can see what's behind you. Make sure you're comfortable using all these things. So practice, and I mean checking in often with the mirrors around you, just so you know what's going on around your vehicle. 6, this is kind of funny, and it's not being confident in your driving is great, but make sure you leave a little room for error, right? So just because you don't know when you're going to need it. And in addition to that, have a backup plan. And once again, you may be the best driver, but there are other drivers on the road that may not be as good of a driver. So you may need that extra room for error, not for you, but because of another vehicle. And your first alternative, your first move or maneuver may not be available. So have a backup plan. 7. This is, some people often forget about this. I do this as well. Make sure you incorporate the actual road conditions into your driving and analysis, right? So driving on a summer day when the sun is out, completely different from driving in the rain or in the snow, or even if it just rained, right? So the distance you need to stop, how long it takes for you to pull off, those things change ever so slightly, which could mean the difference between you being safe and you being in an accident. Number 8, parking lots. Parking lots. Confined spaces, everybody's in the rush, just a recipe for mistakes to happen and accidents, right? So really try to have kind of your Zen cap on and be patient in parking lots. 9, intersections. Double, triple check intersections. Once again, you may be the best driver in the world and completely abide by every rule within an intersection, but there are other cars that are either coming in or leaving. Just make sure that they are also aware of you and following the rules, because a lot of accidents can happen there. Number 10, the last one, kind of understanding stopping distances, right? So the rule of thumb is that you need about a car's worth length for every 10 miles per hour in terms of stopping, right? So keep that in mind as you're driving, and obviously couple that with road conditions and adjust as necessary. So those are kind of the 10 pointers. Hopefully, like I said in the beginning, hopefully you know most, or if not all of those. But either way, it's always good to continue to practice these skills and couple them with safe driving, because in the end, that provides the lowest probability that you'll get in an accident, ultimately saving you money, right? Thanks for stopping by, guys. We'll talk to you next week.